Fernando Pimentel of ThaBoxingvoice.com here with strength and conditioning coach for Abner Mares, Luis Garcia. Luis, talk to us about this fight. I know the last time we spoke, it was for the Santa Cruz fight, and you actually had more of a daunting task because you actually had to prepare him not only for the strength and conditioning, but for a taller fighter. This time you got somebody who's average, his size, and he doesn't really have to reach. How does that work into the strength and the conditioning part?
I mean, really, it's the same thing. I think I leave that part, the height and reach advantage, to Robert. But I think it's always a daunting task of making sure that Abner is in the right position. Can he sustain a 12-round fight with his legs and move around where he needs to be? And if he needs to get in a war, like he likes to sometimes, like can I prepare him and keep him in shape to get in that war? I know a lot of times we think of Abner as being a boxer and someone who knows him well, but he likes to trade. So sometimes you got to just give him that little extra to be able to trade in there if he wants.
He's actually fought like that as of late. You know, like you said, he's more of a boxer. Like they stated he's an Olympian, Mexican Olympian, and that's due to boxing. But as of late, he's more of a brawler. How do you help with that? I know you've been in the camp for a while, so how do you help, switch from boxer to brawler?
I don't. I mean, I prefer he be a boxer. I mean, I think he's got so many skills as a pure boxer that if he stayed in that realm, I think he'd do a lot better, make the fights easier on himself. I've always told him, hey man, you're making it harder than it needs to be, and we got to work harder than we need to work, because you are choosing that task. But I think that happens to be like more people around him and everybody just maybe having the expectation of, hey man, you're bigger, you're better, you're stronger than that, or maybe he fell in love with the strength that we produce, and that's maybe why he's doing it. But we always try to talk him mentally into following a game plan. That's the important thing.
Now, a lot of people have said of Abner that this weight division might be a little too big for him. It kind of got too big for Donaire with Nicholas Walters in there. Is there any way, as a strength and conditioning coach, do you see that maybe that he should go back down to 122, or is this the proper weight for him?
No, I think this is proper weight for him. Yeah, I mean, like he is in a big 126. I think what we noticed I've been with him for 6 years already. What we noticed is that he was always sparring great at a certain weight, like within camp, which was right around that 134, 135, and his sparring's were looking great. Once we dropped into the 130 and under that, I mean, his sparrings didn't look so well. He just wasn't able to produce the type of power, the type of energy that he needed to sustain, especially during the hard rounds of sparring. And so if you're talking about 122 2-pound fight, you're probably going to gain weight and hydrate to maybe 130, maybe 129, and that's kind of small. And we figured that that's just not where he's at his strongest. So although 126 is not a big 126, I think he would just be a very weak 122 if we try to shrink him down there.